So we're continuing with January 2025 Math CSEC Paper 2. We're on question 5, which is on statistics. So we have a table showing the marks out of 10 that 40 students in a class gained on an essay writing test. So you have marks, which is given the variable x, and number of students, which is the frequency f. So part 1, calculate the student's mean score on the test, and this is with 2 marks. So when you have what is called a frequency distribution like this, to calculate the mean score, I'm going to use this symbol x bar, which stands for mean. Then the mean is sigma fx over sigma f. Now that symbol sigma stands for sum. So sigma fx means the sum of the f times x values, and sigma f will just be the sum of the frequency, which of course we know is 40 because there are 40 students in the class. So that's the denominator in our formula. So sigma fx, let's calculate this. So I'm going to add a column to the table f by x, okay? All right, so f by x, we just multiply the values x, of course, by f. So 4 times 3, 12, 6 by 9, 54, 7 8, 56, 9 by 8, 72, and 10 5s are 50. So now I'm just going to use my calculator to calculate the sum of those values. So we have 12 plus 54 plus 56 plus 56 plus 72 plus 50, and that gives my sum to be 300. So therefore the mean will be 300 divided by 40, which will give 7.5. Okay, so that's the student's mean score on the test. Let's go on to part 2. Part 2, determine the modal mark for 1 mark. Of course, the mode is the value with the highest frequency. So if we go back up to our table, the highest frequency is 9, and that corresponds to a mark of 6. So our mode is 6. Okay, the median mark. Okay, and this is for 1 mark. So the median mark, this time I am going to add a column with cumulative frequency. And of course, cumulative frequency means total frequency up to a certain value, or what is called a running total. So up to 4, we only have 3 students. Up to 6, meaning including marks 4 and 6, we have 3 plus 9, which will be 12 students. So we keep going, adding the frequency as we go along to get the cumulative frequency. So next value will be 12 plus 8, which is 20. Then we have 20 plus 7, 27. 27 and 8, 35, and 35 and 5, 40, of course, because we have 40 students in the class. So the median, which is given the symbol Q2, is a half of the nth value. And n in this case is 40, total number of students in the class. So we have a half of 40, which leaves us with the 20th value. So let me explain this from the cumulative frequency column. So if up to 4 marks, there are 3 students, up to 6 marks, we have 12 students, and up to 7 marks, we have 20 students. This means that 20 students would have gained a mark of 7 and less. So therefore, the 20th value has to be 7. Which means, therefore, our median is 7. Okay, And let me just write this over, of course, because you have to have working for this. And it is pretty much okay adding columns to the table just like I did, right? Meaning this, it is perfectly okay to do this in the exam, right? Make sure you have enough space to do that. All right, and let's look at part 3. Using information in the table below, a pie chart is constructed to represent the marks students gained. So we have marks, and this time they grouped it in intervals, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10. And we have the number of students. So we want to calculate the angle for the sector representing the interval marks 5 to 6 in the pie chart. Okay, and that's just 1 mark. So the interval 5 to 6, it's 9 students. So it's 9 students out of the 40. So if you have to calculate the angle for the sector, we know in a pie chart it's 360 degrees in total. So the fraction of students in that interval 5 to 6 will be 9 out of 40. And then we take that and multiply it by 360 to calculate the sector angle. Right? So of course, zeros cancel. 4 into 36 is 9. 9 by 9 is 81 degrees would be the sector angle.